I think that I've always been a great reader. Like, as far back as I can remember, I've always loved to read. I remember in the first grade, I was in Miss Curra's class, and me and this other kid, who was one of my best friends for the longest time, were way ahead of everyone as far as reading went. And so we wouldn't have to do the reading work and the learning how to read work since we already knew how to read. And so there was this corner in the middle in the room, and it had a bunch of books, and it was just carpeted, bean bags and stuff. And we would sit there during that like hour of reading time or however long, and sit there and just read the whole time. And I remember that she had the whole Magic Tree House series, and I read every single one. And when I finished the whole series, she had to like go to her filing cabinet and pull out like advanced reader books, like another book series, so that I would actually have something to read. And I just remember I used to enjoy it so much because it was just like reading takes you to a whole different place. You're inside that story, in with those characters doing all the great things. And so I guess that's why I've always loved reading, is it's just kind of like a break from reality. It takes you away and to these new adventures, and it's a lot of fun. And so these are my bookshelves stacked full of books, as you can already tell. I've given a lot away because I've read them and given them to other people so they can read, but you can obviously see how many I have, and I will never stop collecting books. I always grab some new ones. And I think my love of reading is like what has made me want to become a better writer and to become a better writer as myself, to work for that. I think it was the third grade my mom gave me my first diary, and at first I just took it nonchalantly, writing, little notes here and there, that sort of thing. But then I really got into it. I got into telling my thoughts and feelings from that day. I got into telling all these like stories, and then I started like collecting more diaries. They weren't so much diaries anymore as much as they were like journals, and I had a journal to God, and I had a journal to my future daughter that I would have, telling her about like how I would protect her and life lessons. And I had a fashion journal that I like wrote about clothes and stuff, and just all sorts of things like that. It just made me want to write more. It made me continue to keep up my writing. This is the table in my room full of like all my journals that I've kept over the years, and then in this drawer is all the notes that I've kept that I've ever written or that people have ever given me. And it's just great. I can go back and reflect on everything, see what I used to think, what I used to write, and what other people used to write me. So not all my trophies are athletic. I actually got some of these trophies for reading. This was from the first grade, and it was a 125 point club. In the first grade, I got 100 points. Second grade, I got 200 points. And in third grade, I got 300 points. It was part of AR, which was a system where you just read books and then you took tests on them and got points for it. This is from second grade, 200 point club. And then our teacher gave out little awards, and she gave me the award for most AR points. This is from third grade. They did a 100 point club, even though I had 300 points. I got 200 or 300 points in fourth grade, but I don't have an award for that. And then this is from fifth grade, 200 plus points club, so I think I got 300 in fifth grade. And also I got the reading award, which meant I was a part of the top 5 students in the whole fifth grade in the reading class. So I was always striving hard to be a good reader, if you can't tell. Around the time of middle school was when I got my first laptop, and the first thing I did was not even like get on the internet like a normal kid was, but I got up Microsoft Word and I began writing stories. I wanted to be a writer, and for the longest time I thought, you know what, I'm going to be the youngest person to ever publish a book. So I think that I'll always be a reader. I was an avid reader from the beginning, and I haven't stopped yet, so I think that will continue. Same thing for writing. Didn't start it till a little bit later, but I'm still keeping with it, and I enjoy it a lot. So that's my story.